Typhoon Maysak continuing to intensify over the Micronesia island, specifically the island of Chuuk here on the 29th of March. 2015. This update, we're just going to do a quick recap of what has occurred here on this Sunday as the storm system moved overhead as a strong typhoon. Winds have been reported gusting actually well over 100 kilometers per hour out here, and what we have seen is rain totals well into about 218 millimeters in the course of the past 24 hours out here for these islands. Typhoon warnings have also been put in place, and we are continuing to see these winds gust and still have dangerous conditions expected through the rest of Sunday and even extending out through Monday. Take a look at the satellite imagery. It is starting to pull off there towards the west, so that is the good news. We are continuing to see some improving conditions for many of these islands out here. Winds now sustained around tropical storm strength. Those, what you just seen a second ago, was actually the max reported throughout the day here. Different version of the satellite imagery. You can still see these cooler cloud tops in the upper atmosphere. That is also indicating our continued strengthening of this storm system, and even microwave imagery starting to see that eye wall still setting up. That's why, according to the Japan Meteorological Agency, as of their 06 UTC warning, right around 1600 Chuuk time, winds currently were sustained at 130, gusting to 185 kilometers per hour. Storm is moving west at 17 kilometers per hour with a pressure around 970 HPA. Typhoon warning still in effect for many of the islands out here. Also do want to note Guam is not under any warning. Storm should be remaining well towards the south here. We're also going to be seeing typhoon watches in place for Yap. Definitely by Tuesday and the Wednesday, they're going to be taking the brunt of this storm system, and that's going to be one of the major impacts later on this week. Here's the latest track forecast from the Japan Meteorological Agency. Very similar as the Joint Typhoon Warning Center, which they expect this to peak at super typhoon intensity, winds of 120, gusting to 145 knots. Actually, about the equivalent of a Category 4 if we were talking about the Saffir-Simpson scale. Key thing to note is that as this does enter the Philippine Sea, we do expect some weakening extending out through Thursday and the Friday. Main reason is increase in vertical wind shear. Also, we're going to be seeing some dry air out ahead of the storm system. This is also various other agencies, not just the Joint Typhoon Warning Center and the Japan Meteorological Agency, but most of them all in tight agreement on this storm impacting those of you here in the Yap. Basically, I do want to note the extended long range beyond the next 5 days. Still quite uncertain at this time, but anybody up and down the eastern seaboards of the Philippines definitely needs to continue to watch a storm system. Very likely we're going to be seeing a landfalling typhoon. Highly unlikely, I think, that this is going to be making landfall as a Category 4 equivalent of a typhoon, but it still is going to have some impact, especially since we're looking at the holiday weekend coming up, and many people are going to be out there traveling. So please stay tuned here at westernpacificweather.com. This is just my quick update. Please check in with meteorologist Mike Adcock. He's also going to be putting out a very detailed update here later on today as well. Stay safe out there.